It's sweat and mud and our roots run deep. Living ain't easy, but it sure is sweet. Make you feel inside what there ain't no words to say. Got the river rolling, gamblers floating, singers singing what the writers wrote. We can't always see the signs, but we find our way down Mississippi Road. Mississippi Road.
I've been waiting on you all my life. Hi, welcome back to Mississippi Roads. I'm your host, Walt Grayson. This week we're in downtown Jackson, and we're celebrating the 26th annual Mal St. Patty's Parade. On this edition of Mississippi Roads, we grab a bite with a Hattiesburg restaurateur who's put his priorities in order, and we delve into the buxom, bawdy world of the sweet potato queens and their founder, Jill Conner Browne. Mal St. Patty's Parade is the third largest in the nation. It's led only by the one in Chicago and New York. People by the tens of thousands flock to Jackson every year to see parade favorites like the Rude Boys and the Otuck Society. But it's the sweet potato queens that really make the difference. They hit town on Wednesday night and stay here until Sunday. And man, I think I'm being carried away. In our next story, we introduce you to the queen of all sweet potato queens, Jill Conner Browne. Once upon a time, in a city close to here, there was a girl named Jill. She grew up, well, sort of, got married, but then, one terrible year, it all began to fall to pieces. She lost her dad.
Aww.
She lost her husband. Nothing was going right. It was then that she found extraordinary happiness in a seemingly mundane vegetable. Yes, I said vegetable. That fateful day, March 17th, 1982, the sweet potato showed Jill that there was light at the end of the tunnel. And the light beheld a land of sequins, crowns, and a throne for the sweet potato queen herself, Mrs. Jill Conner Browne. Jackson, Mississippi hasn't been the same since.
Malcolm White decided that Jackson needed a St. Patrick's Day parade. I declared myself to be the sweet potato queen because I thought it sounded funny and still do, and rode in that first parade. There were 4 of us. And a very confused populace of downtown Jackson because it was at 5 o'clock traffic. They had no idea that there was going to be a parade. And we're just, and every once in a while we would throw sweet potatoes, which did little to clarify the situation for the people who were just trying to get home from work.
You know, the first reaction was shock, and then, you know, exhilaration. You know, you'd see people walk out and their mouths would be open like, what on earth? And then the next thing, you'd look back and they'd be dancing and grabbing beads and, you know, part of the party. It's very infectious. Usually you get swept up into it. And we swept Jackson up into that parade that day, and for 26 years now. It attracts over 60,000 people, and hundreds of visitors come to Jackson and celebrate with us. And, of course, it is a once-a-year gathering of sweet potato queen wannabes from all over the world who come here to follow their leader, Jill Conner Browne. And they bring 1,500, 2,000 people from God knows where.
From Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
We're the California Whiners, Emerald Coast Naughty Cool Queens. We're the Cherry Tart Queens from Blount County, Alabama. We're Rolling River Queens from New Orleans. We are the Queens from Wyoming, Mustang Tabbies, Reign Supreme. Yeehaw!
close to 5,400 chapters in 21 countries. There's a queen that comes from England every year. There was a group that came from Indonesia. They've come from Australia. They come literally from all over the world to Jackson, Mississippi the third weekend in March to dress up funny and walk down the street. Which tells me they are highly motivated, easily led, lots of disposable income, and maybe too much time on their hands, but they are my people and I love them.
So who are the sweet potato queen wannabes, and how can you become one?
Something that you want to be that you can't be at home. You know, it's something to dress up. You're totally different than what you are when you go to work, and you just let it all hang out.
Somebody who just admires and worships the queens and all their queenliness and covets to be like them and have all of their evil ways and their naughty tricks.
They can they go on the website, they can form their own chapter, and they'll select their chapter name, and then they have their group motto, and like the one in Saudi Arabia. And their motto is "No Veils for Us," which I think is hilarious. There's a group in Florida, the Florida Naval Queens, you know, the Naval Oranges, and their motto is "Keep your navel queen." It's pretty cute.
Our motto is pick us, squeeze us, make us wine.
We are all shook up because we are the Memphis Blues Queens.
Our motto is too much pork for just one fork.
Our motto is coffee, tea, or me.
The pearls of the sea looking for some good seamen.
We have not found a line that we do not cross. We have men and women, gay and straight, young and old, black and white, rich and poor, drunk and sober, married and single, whatever else there is. Whatever there is, we've got it and are glad of it.
They come from everywhere, and she has chapters of these people in many foreign countries, and I think every state in the union, and they come here and they arrive on Wednesday and they get a room and they stay all weekend and they party and they eat and they drink and they shop. And the last figure I saw was that it generates somewhere between $7 and $10 million in the local economy that weekend. So that's fairly significant.
The Sweet Potato Queens and Mal St. Patty's Parade benefit more than just the local economy.
All of the events are a benefit for Blair E. Batson because it is the only children's hospital in the state of Mississippi where any child can be treated regardless of ability to pay.
The cool thing about all this is all the funds that are raised through the St. Patty's Day Parade benefit the Batson Children's Hospital. So we're very blessed to have that because every dollar counts. $330,000 has been raised. We're very fortunate to have them as a beneficiary for the hospital because with $330,000 you can do a whole lot.
Who doesn't want to help sick and needy children? You know, everybody does. We raise a fair amount of money, an awful lot of publicity and goodwill.
And for John Clark Packer, promoting for the Batson Children's Hospital is much more than a job. It's part of his life and the savior of it.
I was born very sick and transported over to the Children's Hospital the night that I was born. And the doctors told me that I would not make it through the night and ended up staying the first 8 months of my life in the Children's Hospital. So ever since day one, I've had a special connection with the Children's Hospital.
Somebody said to me when I was really young that you should do what makes your heart sing and the money will follow. And that really struck a chord with me. I believe that. And I did say out loud in 1982, the first time I rode in that pickup truck, that somebody will pay me to do this. Here we are. As far as I know, I'm the world's only full-time professional sweet potato queen.
But there's more to Jill's job as the Sweet Potato Queen than the parade each March. She's an author, a motivational speaker, and of course, a mother.
I am a mom. I have one little chicken. She'll be 20, which is just unbelievable to me. Bailey was born into the Sweet Potato Queens because the Queens started in 1982, and Bailey was not born until 1988. So she has never known a world without Sweet Potato Queens. As far as she knew growing up, this is what moms do in March. She's ridden in the parade every year since she could sit up.
Well, when I was little, it was a lot of fun because my mom would put me in ridiculous costumes. Like, I remember there was a rabbit one and like a panda one, I think. And so it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like another Halloween.
She would ride in the back of the pickup truck that pulled us, and now she has a convertible. And
she won't let me on the float. She put me in the back of the truck, and me and my friends would throw beads, and then we graduated to our own car. Now we just like to walk so we can go like visit people like in the crowd. It's been a lot of fun.
Ever get embarrassed?
I think when I was younger, it would have embarrassed me a lot more. Now, I just think it's hilarious.
My books are a little spicy. Willie loved my writing, and he loved the Sweet Potato Queens. He loved all the raucous humor and everything.
Wait a minute. Who's Willie?
Willie Morris was a mentor to me. His wife, now widow, Joanne Pritchard Morris, was my editor for the first 5 books. So on the first book, the Book of Love, Joanne would work on it in the daytime, and Willie would work on it at night. So, I mean, how blessed could a first-time writer be?
How about having that first book become a national bestseller, be translated into German and Japanese, and kick off the Sweet Potato Queen Revolution?
With the first book, the Book of Love, that came out in '99, I said, we're the Sweet Potato Queens, and you should come and be in the parade, and you can be the queen of whatever you choose. It's too late to be a Sweet Potato Queen. You can be a Sweet Potato Queen wannabe. And so in 2000, they came from 22 states. For me, as a writer from Mississippi, unknown humor writer, that for somebody, the idea that somebody in North Dakota found, bought, read, and liked my little book was, miracle enough. But that based on nothing but that little book, they took time off work, bought plane tickets, hotel rooms, restaurants, whatever, to come to Jackson, Mississippi, to dress up funny and walk down the street. I mean, this is great.
I never really expected it to get that big. It's always fun.
Well, Bailey was actually the cover of the new book, The Sweet Potato Queen's Guide to Raising Children for Fun and Profit, which if you've ever had any or known any, you know it's neither. That it is the most relentless job you will ever undertake, and it is wonderful and terrible at the same time. It is terrible to love anything that much.
I know that she had a really hard time, financially, and just trying to deal with everything raising me. She always did the best that she could. I'm really, really proud of her for that. She's always put me first. She's an amazing lady.
She's an inspiration to women everywhere to get out and live life because it's short.
Life is hard, and that taking a break from it and playing is so spiritually restoring. Numerous university studies that have now proven that play is as important to your health and well-being as food, clothing, and shelter. And so the dressing up funny and acting stupid, like we do, makes it possible to step outside yourself for a little while, become somebody else that doesn't have a worthless ex-husband or a child in therapy or breast cancer, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And it makes you a little bit stronger to go back and tote that load when you have to. I don't care who you are. Life is difficult on a good day. And that's the chord that it has struck. The humor is just the vehicle by which the greater message is delivered. But there really is a message.
Well, that's about all the time we have for this week. But if you'd like to see more of our interview with Chef Robert St. John, or Sweet Potato Queen Jill Conner Browne, go to our website, mpbonline.org, and search for Mississippi Roads. And we're going to leave you with some sights and sounds of the 26th Annual Mal's St. Patty's Parade. Till next time, I'm Will Clayson, and I'll be seeing you in downtown Jackson, along with the Sweet Potato Queens on Mississippi Roads.